This is the neighborhood where I grew up in. In fact, you're basically on the 50-yard line right now of what used to be our football field.
Before spending the day with Len Ramirez in the neighborhood he's proud to call home.
Mrs. Chavez lives right there. You know, this is where Brian Beck used to live. This is the Zinghams.
I knew very little about Alum Rock.
It was originally settled by a lot of Italian, Hispanic, and Portuguese immigrants. This was like the eastern frontier of Santa Clara County.
Before it became the tight-knit, predominantly Hispanic community it is today, and long before Len's father moved here in the 1950s, San Jose's Alum Rock was a rancher's paradise.
Around the turn of the century, this was just, open fields. There was a lot of grazing. Feed and Fuel was one of the places that catered to the ranchers. And then it became orchards, and a lot of people, just came and worked the fields and ended up staying.
Alum Rock lies in the easternmost part of San Jose with 680 running through it. Wedged against the foothills and sandwiched between Story Road to the south and Penitencia Creek Road to the north, its main street, Alum Rock Avenue, leads to Mount Hamilton. In the 1940s, about the time many of these homes were built, the fields attracted the man who would become one of the greatest Mexican-American civil rights leaders.
This is where Cesar Chavez, the great organizer, spent a large part of his youth living right here.
Today, the home, just a block off Alum Rock, is a historic landmark.
Would this be you?
That's me.
Oh, look at that. It may not be registered as a historic landmark, but James Lick High School, home of the Comets, is the East Side's oldest high school, built in 1950. 75% of the student body is Latino. It's graduated greats like American playwright Luis Valdez, former NFL quarterback Jim Plunkett, and our own Len Ramirez.
Oh, thank you very much.
Graduate and CBS 5 News reporter.
So I got into journalism here. I was the sports editor of the James Lick Comet Observer, which is the newspaper of the day.
Almost 20 years later, Len is still involved with the school's journalism program. He's a mentor for the new high-tech and hands-on media program.
This is where students will produce television programs.
My hope ultimately is to really give kids a career path that is meaningful to them, sort of, if you will, the Len Ramirez career path.
You wish they had this when you were here?
If they had this, I probably never would have gone to college. I just stayed right here.
Stayed right here, huh? These days, James Lick graduates don't have to go far to get their college degree. The National Hispanic University moved into the Alum Rock neighborhood in 1990.
So you can go to, preschool, elementary school, junior high school, and university, all within a 2-mile radius here.
That's wonderful. The 4-year accredited university attracts about 600 students annually. It was founded by Dr. Roberto Cruz. The man Alum Rock's newest building was named after.
It's the Dr. Roberto Cruz Alum Rock Public Library. It's a brand new facility, beautiful inside.
Across the street from the high school in Alum Rock Village, the new library sits a couple doors down from one of the neighborhood's oldest businesses.
One of the things that's beautiful about the business is that it's still, owned and run by the same family.
Since 1936, the Peters have run Peters Bakery. Everything they make is made from scratch, including their specialty, burnt almond cake. Tell me what's so special about this.
It's still made like it was in the 30s, so the recipe hasn't changed. So if it works, don't change it.
Don't change a thing. That's perfect. Not much has changed at Mario's barbershop over the years either, and that's a good thing. Mario's been cutting hair on Alum Rock Avenue since the early 1970s.
I think I did Len's when he was over there at James Lick High School, him and his brother.
And today, he's trimming up his 3rd generation of Ramirez, Len's son, Lucas.
I did your grandfather's too, mijo, for many, many years. How's that look, Lucas? Good? How's that, Len?
Yeah, it was perfect. When I was a little kid, there was a zoo here.
Alum Rock Park is our next stop. Founded in 1872, it is California's first city park. My first reaction when I see this is, I can't believe I'm in San Jose.
Yeah, this is really the crown jewel.
Known as Little Yosemite, the 780-acre park is great for picnicking, hiking, biking, and running, if you don't mind hills. For the kids, there's the Youth Science Institute. The nonprofit is dedicated to enhancing science education in schools and the community. Until the 1930s, the park was famed throughout the country as a health spa with 27 mineral springs.
These steps down here, these were baths.
Wow.
So people would come and they would actually just kind of lay in and just kind of soak up, you know, the mineral water. This area historically used to be the site of the old natatorium where they had a big indoor swimming pool. There was a carousel here.
And if you're wondering where Alum Rock gets its name, look no further than this massive rock that sits at the base of the park.
This is the Alum Rock right here, this big rock formation that you see on the other side of this bridge.
There it is.
And what would an Alum Rock story be without a Mark's Hot Dogs visit?
For more than 70 years, the Orange and Mark's Simple Menu have drawn hot dog lovers from all over the valley.
It's kind of like biting into history here.
Home to close to 14,000 East Side residents, Alum Rock isn't too big or too small for those who live here. For Len and his family, it's just right.
Thanks for showing me around to Alum Rock.
It's been my pleasure. I mean, this is a great area and I'm happy to show it off.